And hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Boymayava. It'll be just me on the comms by the sounds of things as we look to end your Lions action. It's a pleasure to bring you once again the coverage of our youngest superstars. Just me in the box, the infamous William Kay and Stecker Balbro have departed for the night, so it'll just be us in the box. I invite you to sit back, relax, and look forward to what promises to be one hell of a game. The Central Coast Lions, of course, returning from last year. This time they're under new leadership, with Leo St. Hendricks going off to the Kent Firehawks. We now have Jeff Keen and Anthony Boone as mentors, and for the Bathurst Bluetongues we have Jack White and Chris Weston. Not much to write here in the form guide. Obviously, new teams with a shake-up, but the one piece of transfer news I can confirm is that Maloko Sauli will be leaving to join the Roosters, or rejoin the Roosters more like, at the end of this game. So for the first and the last game in the one jumper for young Jordan. Sonny Tyre looks at him, he waves it for kick-off, and we are underway for your round one action, to end your round one action, I should say. Davis off to Ross. Ross is wrapped up, though. He won't make it past the 20. Lions have options to the left, but they go right naturally. Oh, inside ball, actually. So that they shake it up. Winchester's brought down. And now the Lions will be looking to get up over the 40. At least they go for a 40-20, which they may be in range for in 2 tackles. You never know. Oh, 1 tackle, like. Singh off for the Fiji down to Tipuna. Tipuna driven back. They won't go for the 40-20 now. They're too deep in their own half. What they will do is try to look to get out of trouble, and that's what Davis will look to do off to Winchester, but Shelby's brought down. Shelby's brother Chevy tasting defeat earlier today as the Firehawks went down 22-6 to a rampant Waikato Wolves team. The Melbourne Ravens will be licking their lips going into week 2, but for now they have to be content to watch their final game of the round. As Maloko Sauli goes for a canter of the wing, but he's brought down now to Webke. Webke off to Kern, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me on pronunciation if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But they'll go left now to Benji Magic. That's a familiar name. Benji Magic to Josh Strange, I think, Josh. But he'll be brought down just shy of the 50. Benji Magic inside ball to Neil. I think Benji, the only man in this team with international experience, he debuted for the Cook Islands in the Pacific Championship. And their inaugural Commands Webke breaks the line. But he'll be brought down just shy of the 20. Oh, just over the 20. But with room for an attacking. Half is not quite in the pocket. He's a bit shallow. Oh, no. He's made a meal out of that, Kirk. Yeah, just not the option there. Nothing on, and he drops lollies. Lions will be counting their stars for that one. As Sevu Singh now, the Fijian international. There's rumours that Tavita Vulengawa, the Panthers outside back, is looking to put together a Fijian composite side, and Sevu would be a key part of that. But given that the Fijians suck, there's probably not much room for a side. But they'll go right now, and it's on their second tackle. They're only just over the 30, or there's some great ball there. O'Neill's driven back, though, the young winger. But it's only the third. They've got time now. The game's in a bit of a holding pattern, just set for settle as Jet Davies, I believe, the young... Oh, Jet Davies skins the fullback, and he'll take it to the house to open our scoring, and the Lions, just like that, they score, they strike. And it's the young half ripping them open, a former King, if I'm not mistaken. Trident Davies, I think, was his code name, but he makes them pay for some pretty lackluster defense up the middle. And in the mind, if you get caught lacking with the space afforded to these players, I think they're going to make you pay. And now Reese, the lock. That's odd, the lock doing the kicking, but I digress. Now he looks to slot the extras, which he should dutifully do. He does. And we now have a 6-0 ball game. The Bluetongues. With the Bluetongues under pressure early. That line break probably actually a little bit against the run of play. I thought the Lions were pinned down in their half, but such is life, I guess. And then Marcus Alley will get us underway again. With Winchester taking the head up to Matthews. Matthews won't quite break loose the prop, but he'll get them over the 25. And go left. Tapuna onto Childs. Childs driven back. Well, to Jackson. Jackson sends it off to Cashman. Cashman with that's a fantastic name, by the way, but he's brought down just showing the 40. Joey Winchester left to Tapuna. Tapuna off to Pinball Jackson. Pinball Jackson takes it. He throws a speculator. Oh, Pinball. That's a terrible pass. And Koenig manages to defuse the situation well. As it seems, actually, I'll have a friend in this commentary box, Mr. Mike Borson's. Mike, how are we?
Yeah, not too bad, John Boy. Just got caught up in the flooding. Bit of a track up from Newcastle to Central Coast.
100%. I guess with us both not having too much knowledge of the composition of these teams, Mike, what are you looking for from both of these sides tonight?
You're really just looking for players that are going out there trying to make a big impact, trying to make a name for themselves. And then it's more the off-field work that I think matters in the mines. Keeping those upgrades going.
Sorry to cut you off there, Mike, but as Caleb Kelly there crosses for a well-put-together try by the Bluetongues who strike back. But like you said, I think off-field work is just as important as the product on the field, right? You want them to contribute to a changing room and to just the culture that you look to build positively, right?
Yeah, 100%. In like SRL, it is a big commitment when you think about it. I mean, it's once a week, but you still want to be on top of that. That's what your captains look for.
Definitely, and I think with how competitive spots are, I think we're seeing that off-field performance, off-field just how you are is more important to captains than rather than your pure on-field product, especially in the mines where it's about even across the board stats-wise. But we look to get underway. Reece Davis will resume kickoff. Jordan missing from the side there. It's a tough kick for the young man. He'll look to shake that off those. The Bluetongues look to go back-to-back. Benji Magic now off to Webkey. Webkey. He's brought down on the 20. It looks like they're shaping on the blind side, but there's not much of the way of space there. Go right. And they do go right, in fact. Off to, Marloko Soli can't get free. He's wrapped up and she did a good two-man tackle.
That's actually Malaskaki's last game in the mines. Pretty sure he's going up to the Roosters next week as well.
It's a fantastic pickup for the Roosters, like you said, Mike. I think they're short of a number after Matt. I think it's Matthew Vaughan he's replacing.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
But like we said, I think the mines are our development program, and if you that's a ball straight to Cashman. But like you said, like the mines are a developmental pathway, and we're seeing it now. You know, if you got to be ready, because you never know when your time comes. Matty Vaughan, a long-standing SRL player, as we both know, but he's been replaced now by Marloko Soli, and a new chapter's written. The Lions now, though, third tackle, left or right? Which way do you reckon, Mike?
I was going to go left here.
Yeah, they do go left, true to form. As Matthews is wrapped up, fourth tackle. They'll get one more ball, and I suspect there's going to be a crash ball or forward, unless they decide to move it right. Oh, Tapuna gets in the way. Probably not what they envisioned there, but they'll have a chance to put in a kick.
It'll be a nice little grubber here, nice little grubber.
The ball's too deep. Oh, Davis. Oh, no. That's, it's not what they had written up. As the playmaker can't quite get a kick loose. But Josh Strange now splits the Lions open. The Lions will try to cover. They do cover. Strange is brought down there by the fullback. I think it's Shelby Winchester making the tackle. It's a good tackle. These passes have not been fantastic there from the Bluetongues. Summer Jones wrapped up there in the tackle. Kernke to Senior to Neil just over the 52. And they sit on him in the tackle, but there's no penalty from the ref. Josh Strange will push it up over the 40. Blind side's wide open there if they want to go for a mismatch, but they go right. It's a dart to Webkey. But Webkey won't make too much of it. He's brought down, and now options left, I think, and they have to punt this. That's a cross-field punt from Benji Magic. You don't see those too often. Pinball Jackson is there. Pinball Jackson won't quite get there, though. And the Lions will look to do it all again. I guess we've had 20 minutes to analyse both teams, Mike. What do you make of both of their performances?
Both performances are pretty solid. You can see that, it's first game of the season. None of these players really gelled together. Lots of the mine players got rotated around. New clubs. The Parson's quite atrocious, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's not been up to par. But I suppose that's what we get with the mines, as a penalty relieves some pressure. with the Lions, these piggyback penalties, these extra meterages really do help. I think because a lot of the teams do struggle to get out of their own halves. But now it's up to Lions to convert this opportunity. Pinball Jackson's wrapped up. He still can't quite make that man miss. Oh, Matthews has gone the way, but it goes backwards. I think it's a fair call. Oh, they got options right. Got a front door runner who ghosts it off now to Ross. Ross bring it up dead bang in the middle. They've got options left and right, but I think left is the way to go there. There's Lockie Martin Jr. And the son of Lockie Martin will get close, but he won't quite get close enough. Tapuna puts it up. Tapuna puts up a hell of a bob. It's on the line there. But Ryan diffuses it. They'll get a 7 tackle set out of that kick. And you'd have to say a disappointing set on the line, Mike.
Yeah, very lackluster. They had prime field opportunity there and just couldn't convert. The kicking game just isn't there with the Mines players yet. It does take a lot of time to develop. You see a lot of SRL players still struggle with the kicking game.
100%. I guess that is very true. I think a lot of experienced halves, in fact, will have higher error counts than their contemporaries. But we now move to the Bluetongues who look to get out of the half. And they will through Neil. Neil spots a gap, but he scythes straight through the lock with an offload. Oh, that just goes to ground. And like we said, the passing isn't quite up to scratch yet. The running and the enthusiasm is very much there from the Mines players, as you can tell, but execution letting them down.
There's a little bit of lack of inexperience then. Instead of just taking the tackle, he tries to get the offload to no one, really.
Yeah, no, 100%. I guess the difference between a Mines player and SRL player is knowing when to just hold that ball and when to, when to let it fly, as it were. And there wasn't the chance there. I think the Bluetongues could have used an extra tackle or two just to get closer to an attacking kick. There's a 40-22 for Reece Davis is going to have the angle on it. It'll have the distance. Oh, has he gone just over the 40 there? I'd love a replay. But our camera crew doesn't give me one. But I think he may have just stepped over the 40, which is tough luck for the young man. I thought that kick had the goods. Well, 15 minutes to go now. Bluetongues look to roll up these sleeves and get to work. That's exactly what they'll do through Neil again, who's killing them up the middle, the young lock. And he's been one to watch so far. So I think, to me, he's been the Bluetongues' best player. Strange now will latch onto the ball. He's been good too, actually, young Josh, the second rower. Options left if they want it. Oh, inside ball, but that's got to be picked off by Reece Davis. It is. And the lock who can do it all gets an intercept. And the Lions now are gifted field position yet again. Will they make the most of it? Lockie Martin Jr. can't do too much. And the second row is brought down. Tapuna dishes the ball off to Matthew. Matthews now. It's a good carry for the young man. Ball left, Tapuna off to Winchester. Winchester has a goose step. Oh, sidestep, goose step. And Winchester will get them just shy of this 5 meter line. 2 tackles in hand. Oh, I'd try a crash ball here. I'd love a crash ball here. Yeah, he gets it. Davis pumps the legs. Davis scores. And Sonny will check that for whatever reason. But I promise you that is as good as a try. And young Reece Davis, he started the set with a pick and he ends it with a try. And just like that, Mike, the Lions extend their lead.
Yeah, exactly. And the game has really turned out to be a battle of these two locks. You've got Neil on one side and Davis on the other side. They're really the two standout players from both teams.
100%. And as we see, both players breaking the game open with their running and just their smarts to be Johnny in the spot for an intercept on that inside ball to the fullback. And as Reece Davis looks to convert his own kick, the Coast could go up by 8 points. There's now Davis will slot the conversion. 12-4 we have it. With 12 minutes to go. I think if you keep inviting a team like the Lions in, they're going to make you pay, and they did just that. Maluk Soli, the soon-to-be SRL first grader, he'll step up now. I think he's played wingers and centre before because he was called up last year to the Roosters, if I'm not mistaken. Does injury cover, I think, in that case.
Yeah, well, that is correct. And look, he's put in the hard work. He's bided his time, played a few SRL games, came back to the mines, and just dedication's got him that first grade position.
100%. And he is a unit, by the way. I think that is a hulking frame, though, as Lockie Martin Jr. will break up the middle. Now we're seeing some gaps open up in the Bluetongues defence. They'll want to fix that going into this last 10-minute period. Otherwise, it'll be danger signs. Inside ball now. Shelby Winchester steps a man. Shelby Winchester breaks a tackle. Shelby Winchester. Will he be stopped? He beats a diving attempt at his ankles. But on the third tackle, the Lions have tackles to play with. What will they do? Jet Davis runs up the middle. It's actually not a terrible option because it sucks in two defenders. Bluetongues are structured numbers on the right if they take it. No, left ball. Martin Jr. Oh, he's held up. Yeah, he's held up as the call from Sunny Tyre. Thought we were about to see a Sunny Tyre special, but no. One tackle left now. They put up an attack and kick. Bomb. That's pinpoint accurate there. Will someone get up for it? Not quite. The Maloko Sauli will diffuse that. I think that's the experience that the Roosters will want in their side. He takes a routine bomb. But kneel down. Will look to replicate the effort from his opposite lock. Numbers right. Summer Jones is driven back. Not quite the positive carries they need with the 7 tackles in hand. You'd hope they get over the 50 after the third or so set, but they'll struggle to get to the 40 before the third. But James Reese makes me eat my words. Oh, nope, never mind. He's driven back. Second tackle now. Still got tackles to play with. Oh, as Webke spots a line and he runs it hard. He'll split them up the middle. 30-metre line now. Options left if they want it, and I think they'll take it. They will. First carrier is Strange. Oh, another big carry from the second rower. Playing in that patented 11th position. We love it very much. What has happened there? Senior gets wrapped up. Probably a bit lucky there to retain the ball, the Bluetongues. It was a terrible pass back to the young man. As we were 2-out ball. Neil, who puts it up. I don't know where that's landing. It lands in the midst of Ross, who will bring it back to the 10-metre line, give or take. 6 minutes to go, and the Lions have done well to defend their line there, actually. And Lockie Martin Jr. now, just over the 17. And, given we've had about 35 minutes of play so far, just under, who's standing out to you the most in this Lions team?
Yeah, it's got to be Davis. And the worst part is he's gone undrafted. With that said, big mistake there. Gets hit off the ball, and the Bluetongues are in prime position here with Strange.
I didn't know that Davis hadn't been taken yet. Is he a relatively new Mines player?
Yeah, well, I think he's been around. I think he came back last season, just at the end of last season when he's made his character. But he's in that half position, which is just really unfortunate for you to be in, to be able to get a dev contract. Not many halves get those contracts because it's the position that you only have 2 in your whole team. You're not going to waste it on a dev player, unfortunately.
No, 100%. As senior now, we've wrapped up on the 5th. The Bluetongues yet again can't quite make anything right before the kick, but we might see a grubber kick. I recommend stepping through a grubber kick here. Lions are flat, and I think that's what they'll go for. It's a good grubber kick. It's a great grubber kick, and Benji Magic, he scores his first try of the year. And the Cook Islands International will have the Bluetongues draw closer to level.
Yeah, and it's that man that we've been talking about, just sparking the Bluetongues. Neil with that grubber then. He's basically doing everything for this team.
To pedal the kicking locks, to be honest. Neil and Davis both having some great contributions to their sides.
Well, they're both half archetypes.
That makes sense, right?
We've specialised in kicking. So they're playing our position here, but you can't really tell the difference, can you?
No, I think they've been phenomenal, both of them. I mean, the way that Davis has split teams open, has split the Bluetongues open this game, you'd think you wouldn't be too surprised to know that he's a natural half. He's got the athleticism and the speed. And I think my challenge to both of them is just to keep grinding at it. Which is like, this is what will attract clubs. But as we said earlier, it's a personality that keeps them. So we'll be interested to see how both young men kick on. But Koniki now will restart us. Webke will get we'll get to the 25 now. Options right. As Benji Magic will throw an inside ball to Neil again. He's getting busy. That's what you want from your lock. Frequent carries with some heart in them. Josh Strange just brought down shy of the 50. Was it a blindside play opening up? No, they want to go right. Ball though to Tomo Jones, the hulking frame, that 10 in that 10 jersey. He's brought down over the halfway line. Ball out to the left to Josh Strange. Josh Strange will push, but Josh Strange won't quite get enough meters for an attacking kick, so it'll have to be a punt. He's out of the pocket. Is that? Oh, it's Benji Magic. Oh, no, Benji. You know what? I'm going to choose to believe that's a tactical run on the fifth tackle to stop a kick return. That'll be us for the first half, and we'll see you shortly.
Hello, NRL Hotel. How can I help?
Yeah, g'day. I'd like to organise an early checkout, please.
How does the 60-minute mark of the grand final sound?
Perfect.
But I booked a final spot in round 10.
Sir, it looks like that was cancelled in round 13. So if you could just move aside, though, we've got some genuine top 8 teams about to check in. There you go.
What?
All the best.
Really?
Penthouse.
Oh, you have got to be joking. Going up the was?
Nah, down.
Yo!
Sir, we've had some complaints. Is there any chance you can wrap this party up soon?
Yeah, sure. Just give us another couple of seasons, all right?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Is that all you're going to do to stop them?
Better than you managed.
Yes, rooms. Yeah, send up another 5 utility players, please.
Right away, sir. And shall I send up some more Panthers?
Oh, sounds delish.
Any baggage, sir?
Yeah, heaps. Try 38 years worth.
Jeez Louise.
Can I help you?
Yeah, actually, got any wins against top 8 teams in here somewhere?
No, just have towels.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Ladies and gentlemen, the walls are crumbling. Brace yourself for the power, the pride, the punishment. Inspired by a legend. Built by LSH. This is Walls of Jericho.
Really low in a river wide enough, baby. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your second half of action. It's been an absorbing first up clash here in the Central Coast, but it's seen the Lions stretch out to a 12-10 lead early against Bathurst Bluetongues. My name is John Boyd Malvin, bringing you coverage is my good friend, Mike Borsons. Mike, what did you make of that first half?
Yeah, very tight game. 2 locks standing out above everyone else. In, just 2-point difference. So it's all in here for both teams to win up.
100%. I guess we talk about the fact that there is more than just points on the stake for most of these players' livelihoods. For some of these players will be playing SRL action. Oh, that's a terrible knock-on. Oh, man. Just as we give the locks a rap, Neil makes a meal of that. But, for some of these players will be playing SRL action this year. And for some, it'll be a long season again in the mines. I think that's one of my favourite things, but is the storyline that develop. And, we're looking at the stars of the future. And some cool back NG Plus players, of course. Shelby Winchester. A distant relation to KCK, I'm told. They're not quite sure how. I have to confirm with the stats team. But Jay Tapuna now, who'll push it. Oh, Jay Tapuna scores. And just like that, the 6 extends their lead once again. The halves for the Lions are getting it done. First it was that Jet Davis, but then it's Jay Tapuna now. And he does ground the ball. He gets right. He gets under. Tomo Jones can only stop and watch as Tapuna drives. And who's he driven over? Is that? Oh, I can't quite see the number there. It's an L, but I can't see anything else other than that. So, Lions have now a 6-point lead, conversion to come. Stretch out to 2. Borsons went to make of that try.
Yeah, these halves, these half archetypes are just killing it on the field. You've got those 2 half archetypes in the box, and then the 6 and 7 are just playing out of their mind right now.
It's been fantastic stuff. I think what's been impressed me the most about both these halves is the option taking. I think the earlier game yesterday on Thursday, at the time of watching, the halves of both sides weren't the best in terms of their fifth tackle kicks or runs, and so it's good to see the options are there. They're developing those, micro skills They will need come the SRL call-up, which I'm sure will be soon for most of them. But now the new Roosters man, Maloko Sauli, will kick us off again, and the Bluetongues will have to find a way to get back into this game. I'm not sure how, but with 38 minutes left in the game, it's safe to say that they have heaps of time. As the kick goes deep now. Down the throw to Cashman. Cashman throws the ball out. Ooh, long ball. That's adventurous off to Matthews. Matthews now. He gets up, plays the ball, and it's the first tackle. The signals get crossed a little bit, but Lockie Martin Jr. ends up with the ball. Junior now, over the 30. Matthews off to Davis. Davis to Ross. Ross hits a wall, though. The Bluetongues muscle up a defense. You love to see it. Matthews ball again off to Martin Jr. This ball playing's been great for the Lions. For the Lions. But with a tackle in hand, they might look to take a 40-20. Actually, they won't. Instead, Reece Davis takes a head up, and they'll have to punt instead. 35 meters gained in the set. It's a solid set after points. It's not a bad kick, but it's down the throat of James Reece, and James Reece has a chance to respond. Reece doesn't quite step the man, but he'll get up to 35. Now plays it. Best played, sorry, to Josh Strange. Josh Strange takes the help. Josh Strange was industrious to Bluetongues. He's one of their best that first half. Long kneel. But it's an unders ball to Tama Jones, but Tama Jones is driven back there, the big frame. I can't quite put it to use, but he'll get them set up. Now just try the 50. Strange driven back.
Do you reckon Josh Strange is a close relation to Logan Strange, or just...
I hope so, because that'd just be funny. But I believe Josh is an Aussie T1, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to Logan, voice of the SRL, one of the commentary goats. It's Pinball Jackson. Now he's struggled this game, Pinball, and a winning team. He can't quite get that step with the centre that you'd be looking for from your two, especially with the just a sheer amount of ball, kick return opportunities your winger will get. Now with Cashman. So Tapuna off to Winchester now off to Davis. That's a fantastic ball movement. You'll love to see it. But Davis plays to Cashman. Cashman now inside ball to Winchester, who's driven back. And again, it's those 2-man tackles that are killing the Lions. Ball playing up the middle. Davis. Oh, sorry.
Have we seen the Warriors dev yet? Fraser O'Neill, has he touched the ball?
James Reece. James Reece will take it to the house. And we talk about the need for explosive kick returns, and this man delivers. What a try. That is electric from the young man. I mean, Mike, in the middle of our little talk, what do you make of that try?
Yeah, beautiful try. Great pickup by the Bulldogs as well to get him on a dev contract. Already showing strides that he could be a next big SRL star.
That's a fantastic kick return. Like you said, just explodes out the gate, steps the centre, and he takes it to the house. The fullback tries to dive, Winchester that is. It doesn't quite get there. Fortunate, but they'll have to go again. And I think to talk about Fraser O'Neill, the Psalm 1 tier 2, I think. I don't think we've called his name yet.
No, I honestly don't think it touched the ball.
Actually, now I'm looking at it, where is he playing? O'Neill is at 5. Yeah, no, his ball just hasn't come his way. The poor lad. I guess that's life as a 5. The trend seems to be that the number 2 wingers, that the winger in the 2 jersey, will get the lion's share of the kick returns, and it's stayed true this game. As we once again return to a 2-point ball game. Just running through this Bathurst side. We have 7 players under dev contracts. Josh Strange, the Logan Strange, we think, family member, is a Brisbane Broncos dev player. Sorry, actually, I've just missed a lot of the Lions making the most of a mistake to get up to reset on the 15, and they'll look to pay back the points scored by the Bluetongues. Childs explodes through a tackle, but he won't get too far. They're going to go left, now they go right. Inside ball to Reece Davis. Reece Davis will drive, but he won't quite get there. Not strong enough, sorry. Crash ball again. Tapuna drives. Tapuna always put on his back, though. They won't from the earlier try. They won't let him get a head full of steam. Interesting to note that that young Tapuna is currently, if I check my notes again, is currently unattached, missing out on a dev contract. But I dare say, with the recent promotions, he'll probably be first cab off the rank. But the Lions now looking to do something with the ball. Matthews drives. Matthews drives. He doesn't get close enough though. For the tackle now, grab a kick. Surely you grab this. Oh. The intent is there. The execution probably sorely lacking there. Ricochets off the post. And the Bluetongues get let off scot-free. Mike, do you have any comment?
Yeah, it just comes down to that little lack of inexperience there. The kicking will be better at a time by these boys. They're going to keep their head up, focus on the game plan, and the tries will start flowing. If not this game, next game.
Yep, 100%. As the Bluetongues are looking to get the tough yards going, but they are struggling to get out of the 30. They do eventually breach it though through Josh Strange. Josh Strange, he beats a tackle, he lets an offload off. That's a fantastic ball there for the Broncos div. But it'll have to be played back into the pocket for Kroenke to have a go at it. Puts his foot through it. It's off to Fraser O'Neill. Here we finally say his name for the Warriors div. Oh, I thought a double step was on there, but he gets driven back there in a strong tackle by Maloko Soli. As they swing it left. Down to Ross. Ross drives up. It's a familiar sight. He's been industrious for them, the young prop. All right. So then Winchester shoves it to Fraser O'Neill, gets involved again. He's sick of hearing my slander and he's got to get involved now, the young wire. Flew now to Jones. Jones. I thought he shot through a tackle, but he'll instead. Brought down on the 35. Down to the right now. It's a bit of a shallow ball, but Davis latches on. The 7 is now taken out of the play, though. So the kicking will have to fall to 6. Will it fall to the 6? No, it's Severus Singh instead, actually. He'll pin it down the corner. The Fiji International gets his kicking bits ready. Is Ryan, who's stepped up for a centre, but he won't get too far. 23 minutes left in the game. We're getting to the crunch time. The crunch period, Mike. What do the Bluetongues need to do here to win this?
They need to start making meters with their forwards, and just saying that Ryan just carves up the middle of the field. But yeah, the big forwards, the big difference is that they're just not making any meters here.
100%. I think you need that go forward. I think the magic number really is that you want at least 5 forwards. Oh, no. Oh, Josh Strange. Not really Josh's fault there. The runners get mixed up and the lead runner takes out the ball. But such as the SRL is second now, we'll have the opportunity to get them over 50. And the Lions have been gifted fantastic field position. They could stretch out their lead. And Shelby Winchester looks to do just that. Ooh, speculating offload, but it's reeled in by Jet Davis. He's had a fantastic game so far. I'll probably look to get the young lock there. Reese Davis, involved. But Ross will take a settler instead. Third tackle now, 3 to go on the set. Davis, here we go. He takes a head up now. Drove it up to the 10. 2 more tackles in the set, but 1 more productive one. Ball.
It's going to be a high ball here.
Yeah. I smell a fullback try here. Shelby Winchester is lurking. Yep, that's exactly what he wants. It's a hell of a ball. But James Reese diffuses it well, and instead the Bluetongues will get the opportunity to cut it out of their end. What was lacking in that set, Mike?
I think the fourth play sort of took them a bit too wide, didn't make enough meters forward, and then they had to put out that bomb, and just a lack of experience to be able to jump up, pass it back to to the Winchester to get him over.
Yeah. I mean, there's no argument to me there. Just lacking that final. That's something characteristic of most minds. They're lacking that final oomph. As Best scythes through the middle, but it won't be quite enough to beat the fullback. Did Benji Magic level go? The Roosters dev player.
What do you make of Benji Magic? He's been in the Mines for a few seasons now.
I think the time spent in the Mines has allowed him to develop his game. I don't think he's SRL ready yet, and he probably won't be for another season. But I could see him like a calling as a hooker, maybe, or at least some sort of bench utility. I quite like him. I thought he was thrust into the international scene probably a bit early, but he did score as well. So, jury's out on Benji. I think if the Roosters call him up, he'll do a job. but he needs one more year in the Lions, one more season in the Lions just to fully flesh out, I think, his half capabilities.
I also think he has moments where he goes missing a bit.
No, that's totally 100%. I mean, if you compare to Jet Davis, he's clearly the weaker of he's the weaker of the two. And the thing that sets out Jet from Benji is that Jet goes looking for work, whereas Benji, if the game's not going quite his way, seems to phase out.
100%, yeah. And that's the thing, it's just all about that dedication to get involved in these games.
And 100%. That's strange now, just trying the 50. I'm interested to see where he ends up eventually, because with a lot of the SRL first graders are tending to retire, so Sonny Tyre, Will K, all that, will probably gone in a year or two, and that does leave gaps for halves. The trend at the moment does seem to be halfbacks being fullback primaries though. So whether or not there is a role for the traditional 95 speed half remains. I think there is. I do think there is, especially with the kicking upgrade, like the advantage they have. Oh, that's one hell of a hit there. The Bluetongues managed to regather possession.
No, I agree with you. Then, especially with lots of halves do end up transitional locks in the end of their career. You've seen it with Jamie Moana, Will K.
And they do it quite successfully, as Jordan will have the chance to tie the game up, but I think they make it quite successfully. I mean, you, Damo, and William are all examples. Sonny Tyre as well. It does seem to be the long-term career pathway, is playing lock. So we'll have to see how it ends up as Jordan slots the penalty, and just like that, Bathurst is now level with the Lions. They've battled their way back into this, just like we said, and they reap the rewards for some, I guess, just a sloppy penalty in the Lions red zone.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the situation is in the Lions if we do go into some extra time or just ends a draw.
I'm unsure as well. I am currently checking with my stats team, Josh Pretlove, to ask if we have golden point or if it's just a straight draw. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just a draw at this level, but I'm sure I'll receive clarification in my comms earbud sometime soon. As Tomo Jones now breaks through, and the Bluetongues have been imbued with some confidence. Oh,
he's done forward pass.
Too much confidence. That's what happens when forwards make breaks. They're not used to seeing that much space, and they do something stupid. And Tomo Jones throws what can only be described as a hopeful ball forward. But now the Lions will have a chance to take the lead, and it's not out of the realms of a field goal, actually. They're probably getting to a bit too close now to attempt, but if they put Davis in the pocket, they could have a go, but Tapuna, I think, is no slouch as well. No, Tapuna takes it, and Tapuna slots it. Speak of the devil, and he will appear. Jade Tapuna, just like that, scores a try this half, and he adds the extras. Mike, do you think this is too early, though?
Yeah, that's what I was about to talk about. I was actually about to say, do you actually think this is a bit too early? I mean, I know from past experience that's the Knights, we've lost a few games by doing that exact same scenario.
And I guess there's the game management argument, but there's still 8 minutes left. And that's a long time to work your way back into it. I think at least try to see if you could break them open for a try before attempting it. They had, 2 tackles in hand?
Yeah, I still get PTSD from that Dolphins game where we kicked a field goal and then lost it 2 minutes later.
Oh, and also that game where when Tata Maxwell ran.
Yeah, and then to make the grand final, I believe, and yeah, same thing happened.
So yeah, definitely a compelling argument, as the Lions will be weary of the threat, I think, from the Bathurst. That Bathurst has. But it's a third tackle now, and they're making their way up to the halfway line, and they're doing well. Oh, that's a line ball to Jones, but he'll reel it in. Fourth tackle now. They made good meters here, actually. It's a fantastic set after point. The Lions. Ross is driven back now. They have to punt it. I'd watch out here, though. They were made to pay in the last kick return, and this one could seal the game if they're not careful. Turn it out down the throat of... Oh, no. That's a terrible kick. Actually, Senior gets the ball. Or was that a fantastic kick because it stopped a kick return? Jury's out.
It's fantastic. He's going to stop the kick return. And we've seen that the Bluetongues just can't build any momentum with the forward pack. How they're going to go for a field goal? They're probably going to look for the win here.
They'll have to because they've got 5 minutes left, and if I'm not mistaken, we're on reduced quarters as well for the Lions. That's even less time than usual. As Neil now will drive it to the 40. Fourth tackle, they want an attacking kick because I don't think they'll go for the field goal, actually. Yep, as it's now Maloko Sauli steps the fullback. Oh, he's brought down narrowly. But I'll give them a chance at an attacking kick. And it's a fantastic attacking kick. Is Jordan in position, though? He is! He scores! Jordan Maloko Sauli gives Bluetongues fans the ultimate goodbye present. And didn't we say it? Like, you give them enough time and they will strike back the Bluetongues.
It's always too early to kick a field goal unless you know the other team's looking to get the ball again. With that being said, Jordan is about to make it. I think he's missed one tonight so far. He should be able to slot this over and then it should be game over. And he misses. Still a little bit of time left on the clock. Bluetongues will just hope that they can keep possession here off the kickoff with Davis. And John Boy just has to step out for a few minutes. He'll be back temporarily. Benji Magic onto Webberkey. Neil. The Bluetongues are just in defense, just trying to get the ball down the field as far as they can, trying not to make a single mistake. Webberkey, Reese. Got a minute left here. It's going to be an early kick here from Benji Magic. What a superb kick. No one's down there to field it. Clock's just ticking. Winchester picks it up. And he just can't get any distance. I think that might have been the game. And Benji Magic, what a way to close out the game. Superb kick for field position. And that's it. Full time, your Bluetongues came up to the Central Coast, came out victors, winning 22-19. And what was a cracking game there in the second half. And now we'll move on to some match stats here. You have a look at the stats. It sort of paints the opposition of what really happened there. Bluetongues really lacked that completion rate, only 13 out of 20. Why, on the other hand, the Lions, 17 out of 20. Tackles, again, the Bluetongues made more tackles. Had more missed tackles. It did have more line breaks, however. But in the end, it was that last final try that got them over the edge. And let's have a look at some actual player stats. Starting off with the Lions. You got Jet Davis, 188 metres. What a stellar game. 1 line break, 1 try assist, 1 try. You have a look at Pinball Jackson. I mean, you didn't really see much of him, but still 94 metres. Pretty solid effort. Now, we'll move over to the Bluetongues quickly, have a quick squiz of what's going on over there. Little Webberkey. Insanity. 189 metres. 3 line breaks, 1 tackle break. And then you've got Benji Magic. 2 try assists, 1 try. 177 kicking metres. Just absolute superb play. And I think that'll be it for us here at Central Coast Stadium. I've been your host, Mike Boltons. John Boy just had to leave the box to emergency. Have a lovely night there, boys.